Hi guys, now that you have finished playing Guess That Sound, we are going to move forward with the next part of our lesson, which is called Story and Discussion. As you guys were playing that brain builder activity, Guess That Sound, how many of you guys had a hard time being able to focus and listen? Give me a thumbs up if you found it a little bit challenging to be able to focus and listen during that activity. Yeah, I figured that was the case. As we are all in this virtual learning phase right now, sometimes it can be very challenging to be able to focus and listen based on the things that are happening in our backgrounds, in our homes, or in our families' houses, or in the learning centers that we're in. It can be a challenge. And that game was a little tricky. Miss E even had a little bit of a challenge being able to pick all of those sounds the correct way. So there's a word that we're going to learn today that defines something that takes your attention away and makes it hard for you to concentrate. I'm looking for a specific word. Do you guys want to take a guess? That's a good guess. Yes, smart Bellevue third grade dragons. Those are all great guesses. The word that I'm looking for is distraction. A distraction is something that takes away your attention and makes it hard for you to concentrate. It might have been challenging for some of you guys to be able to listen to some of those sounds during the Guess That Sound game because of the distractions that you have in your backgrounds. Or it might have been distracting because some of your classmates might have become unmuted and then you heard the distractions in their background. Today, we're going to learn about something called self-talk. Self-talk is our learning strategy that we're going to learn about in this week of Second Step. As self-talk is something that you can use every day to ignore distractions so that you can stay focused and on task. Now, this is Omar. Omar is trying to work on his book report, but he has distractions that are making it hard for him to stay focused and to stay on task. Focus your attention on this picture and tell me some of the distractions that you see. Yes, some of the distractions I see, I agree with you. The girl sitting next to Omar, she looks very distracted. She's having a full-on conversation with him while he's trying to do his book report. Come on. It also looks like Omar has some other students that are in his classroom that are doing some other things in the background that would also be a complete distraction if you were trying to do a book report. Omar is having some trouble staying focused and on task because of the distractions in his background. You may have had some distractions today during the game that we played called Guess That Sound. Think about what you said to yourself to help you ignore the distractions in your background. I'm going to give you 3 seconds to be able to think about what you had to tell yourself using self-talk to be able to focus and pay attention during the game. 1, 2, 3. Some of you were able to focus your attention and listen because you told yourself to concentrate on the sounds. If you did that, then you were using self-talk. You talk to yourself in your head or in a quiet voice. Telling yourself to focus and pay attention on the most important things can help you to stay focused and stay on task. Now, looking at this picture, think about what self-talk you would need to use if you were Omar in order to focus and pay attention and avoid distractions. Teacher, I want you to pick a ready learner who is focusing, paying attention, and listening. Call on them to have them describe some of the self-talk that they would use if they were Omar in order to avoid some distractions. Those were some very good strategies you guys came up with. Self-talk helps you to ignore distractions so you can stay focused and on task. Omar uses self-talk to help himself ignore the distractions in his background. He's able to stay focused and get his book report done. Respectful learners use self-talk. What are some of the ways that you've had to use self-talk in this virtual learning process? Teachers, I want you to pick a ready learner who is focused, paying attention, and listening. To call on them to help them to be able to share some strategies with you and their peers and their classmates about some of the self-talk strategies they use throughout this virtual learning process to be able to focus and pay attention. Those were some very, very good strategies that you came up with, smart, intelligent Bellevue Dragon third grade students. In this virtual learning process, self-talk is very important. Being able to use a lot of strategies to be able to focus and pay attention to your teacher during this time can be very challenging. So I'm so proud of you for coming up with strategies on your own to help you to learn how to be able to focus and pay attention. So the new skill that we learned this week during our second step program was using self-talk. Remember that self-talk helps you to ignore distractions so you can stay focused and stay on task. Now we've learned 4 strategies to being a ready learner so far as we are in our second week of second step. There were 3, remember, that we went over at the very beginning that we learned during our first week of second step. Those 3 strategies were focusing, paying attention, and listening. And now we are also going to add in the strategy of using self-talk in order to be able to help us be ready learners and to be focused and on task. Your teacher will move forward with the rest of second step for the rest of the week during your community circle. You guys will engage in some skill practice, and you guys will do some more activities, and then you guys will do a wrap-up. I'm so proud of you for using all of your second step learning strategies so far. I miss you, I love you, and I'll see you next week.